Hello everyone, I'm Tracy Koga, and if you're like me, I cannot believe how fast summer is flying by. So we're going to take the next few weeks to look back at summer of 2022 when things were back to normal and we could have guests right here in our studio. Hope you enjoy. Hello everyone, welcome to Hue at Home, and we are on set here, and my special guest today is a good friend. And although we were talking before, Krishna, I guess maybe it's been a year since we were at 9 rounds, not doing a workout, but talking about this documentary, about your life and what you've gone through, range of emotion, and let's just say that this has taken a range of going up and way beyond probably what you've expected. The documentary has been seen in film festivals, and now you have more news.
Yeah, so we found out actually by accident, because the contract we have with one of the prizes we won at one of the film festivals was a distribution license or deal. Mm-hmm. And so they were working on deals and we didn't know, right? Oh. So they don't really keep good communication, but I'm still very grateful. We kind of stumbled upon it on one of the YouTube things that we thought someone stole our documentary. We had it taken down, and then we found out that was them. Like, they sold it to a YouTube channel called King of Docs, and so it's on there right now on YouTube. It's called Range of Emotion with the brackets around the E, so you have to type it in that way. So it's been on there for a couple of weeks before I found out. And we thought someone had stolen our idea, so we had it taken down. Then we had to put it back up because they contacted us and said, "What are you guys doing?" So that was kind of interesting, and it's on several other platforms, but I don't know what they are right now. Unfortunately, I won't know till September, till I get my report. So.
Well, top secret, but at least it's out there and people are seeing it.
Yeah.
And I guess let's go back and talk about the documentary. Why did you want to do it? And I guess, of course, share your story.
Well, okay, so I have schizophrenia, and I think it's not well known about. And there are many people who suffer with it, and half the time, when you are really sick with it at the time, where you really don't know how to communicate. Mm-hmm. So there's no one to speak for that person. And I really would have appreciated it if something like this was out for me when I was going through these tough times, because you feel like you're alone. And a lot of times I didn't really leave my house for almost 15 years. So I can't imagine going through life doing a little bit better now and not trying to do something about it. Mm-hmm. Or at least in some way help those who are maybe younger, struggling and don't know that they're not alone and that it's normal to feel the way that they're feeling because of that illness, but also how to use the illness to their advantage in a way where they can be really productive again, and that they should never give up hope, because it can feel hopeless at times.
Mm-hmm. So what was it like, I guess, for you doing this journey of documenting your life? You're really putting your whole self out there. Was there a lot of self-doubt in the process?
For me, I figured like my life is maybe a little unique, but most people have some traumas, and most people just keep them hidden, mm-hmm. right? So I thought the way to probably gain people's trust is just to reveal what's there so that they can connect in some way with the documentary, even if they don't have the illness. But yes, there was a lot of things I was like, I don't know if I want to share this, and I don't want to go into too much detail with it, but and then there were things that just wouldn't, because of time, mm-hmm. Fit in there. But I think the most important parts got in there, and it's a little bit revealing, and it's something for when I watch sometimes I relive some of those problems that I had, and it's a little bit hard on me. But I think it's very necessary because other people, who have this illness or maybe different problems in their life, also go through things like this, or similar, or in some way. And you should never be ashamed of what happens to you. You should, in my opinion, I feel that sometimes we struggle, but it's what we do after, right? What you do after is always important, or at the present. So make yourself stronger, make yourself better. Put yourself in a position where you can enjoy your life. And that's kind of where I'm trying to do with my life, and I'm hoping other people will do that, especially if they're struggling at the time, that they see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, and that their story is part of a bigger story. It's not just what they've existed in to that point.
Right.
There's more to tell.
For you, Krishna, looking back, was it a person, was it a moment, or was it an event or whatever that really was the trigger to put you on the right track?
Well, so there was my diabetes when I got very heavy. So I got to over 300 pounds, and I had a 60-inch waist. And for those who maybe don't know, not long before that, I was like a champion bodybuilder. So I had a 25-inch waist, and I looked great. I had hair too. I don't have hair now, but that's besides.
Well, okay, no, that's another conversation.
That's something else. Yes. So it was a little depressing, I guess, to go from one extreme to the next. But I ended up getting diabetes with blood sugar at 22, pretty much every day, and a heart condition. And so my doctor sat me down and said, "You likely won't live past 2 years." He said, "I'd be surprised if you even make it for 2 months." He says, "But if you, right now," he said, "you'd have to start today, work really hard, and maybe you could stretch your life out a little bit longer." So that's what I did. I just started walking, honestly, and eating better. And the first month I lost 30 pounds, second month another 30 pounds, and it kind of averaged that, for about 6 months, and I lost most of the weight. And in my mind, I was like, I might as well at least attempt to prolong my life, at least, sort of like die trying, at least, instead of just rolling over. And that's kind of how I went about it, and it worked out. Like, I didn't actually expect it to really work out the way it did, but it worked out a lot better.
I know. Well, and it's almost like you have to hit rock bottom to really bring yourself back up. Now, what would you like to do, or are you doing, more kind of community work to get awareness out about schizophrenia?
Yeah, so on my social media, especially on the one with Range of Emotion, on Instagram and Facebook, especially the Instagram one I use, I get a lot of private messages there, and even on my personal one. And from there, I like to talk to people. There's been a few communities that I've sent the documentary to. So one was an AA group. I don't want to mention, any specifics or anything. There was a university class that viewed my my documentary as well. So there's been a few places I've sent it. I've had really good feedback from those who have the illness. So sometimes I'll encounter someone who I can sort of tell right away if there's something not right, if they have something similar. And I'll start talking to them and send them the documentary. And it really made a big difference in one fellow's life. He started going to the gym and messaging me about diet and stuff. So it became like something that he had goals for. And it was really refreshing and encouraging for me too, not just for him. And he showed he had a viewing, Zoom viewing, where he had multiple people watching the documentary with him so that they would understand it. So it's been something that, at least for me, that was probably the biggest reward, was seeing that person and seeing it uplift them.
Wow. What are some of the common things, misconceptions that people have? And how do we make life better?
Okay, so some of the misconceptions is that a person with schizophrenia is automatically violent, or like very unpredictable. Now, okay, if they're not on medicine, they might be a little unpredictable, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's an unpredictable, violent person. Most people who have it, like myself, I was the kind of person that would probably go and hide somewhere or avoid confrontation. Mm-hmm. There are very few cases where a person is more aggressive. So medication is very important. So there's those misconceptions there. So half the time the person is extremely harmless. And in fact, they're scared of everyone, basically. Mm-hmm. What a person can do is, there's a lot of energy there, a lot of anxiety, learning how to put it into something that's useful. So if a person who has schizophrenia medicates through other avenues like drinking or drugs, that's not a good avenue because it's not productive. Mm-mm. You're not going to make a good decision doing that. It's not going to improve your life. But if you go to the gym, or you start exercising, or you start painting, or you do something where you can put your passion and energy into that, because there's a lot of energy there. If you focus it, it doesn't even really matter what it is, as long as it's productive. Mm-hmm. You can be really productive. You can be really focused, and less things will distract that person because they'll be doing what they like.
Right.
So if they can find that thing that they like, maybe it starts with actually just something that's not as productive as far as money making, like walking outside, enjoying the scenery, but it can turn into that. That's how it was for me.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I would suggest.
And as far as, I guess, where you are today, I mean, there are still struggles, right?
Yeah, lots. We all have struggles,
yes.
right? There's nobody without. That's why it's very relatable. The only thing is I can be a little unbalanced sometimes. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to keep myself in, because I got to keep myself in check. Right? The first thing you got to do is take responsibility. Mm-hmm. I have an illness. It's not someone else's illness, so it's mine. And I have to keep check on myself that I'm being balanced. Mm-hmm. Or in the degree that I can be balanced, where it's not affecting other people in a negative way. So there's a challenge there. The other challenge is being consistent. So someone with these illnesses can be inconsistent. So they have to form a routine or a habit of going to work, having the amount of work that they can properly handle, not taking on more than they really can handle. Mm-hmm. So a person like that might, or like myself, might want a smaller shift.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. Where they know they can do that. Mm-hmm. And then if they have a flexible boss like I have at 9 rounds, shameless plug, then you can maybe add on a couple hours here and there if you're feeling good. Yeah. And that person then can thrive. Yeah.
So is every day different? And is that kind of an anxiety, like what's my day going to be like? Waking up?
No, honestly, my days are pretty boring, so and I keep them that way. I basically go to the gym, eat, go to work, and maybe talk to a few friends. Mm-hmm. And I keep it very simple. I don't go in places where I'm not ready for, or not comfortable, or it's a little bit chaotic.
Yes.
I don't want to be in a chaotic situation, so I measure it out.
Control. Yes.
Yeah, I try to have like comfortable limits on things. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to go and do the odd thing. I just got to measure it out, make sure my energy is good enough for that.
Right. Well, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but hey, you know what? Congratulations, and what a success. So we're going to come back. I want to talk more about your passion, bodybuilding, craziness, but maybe we'll talk about how it really helped you, but also how it can help other people. Maybe not even people living with a mental illness. It could be just anybody, right? Having goals. So we'll come back and we'll talk with Krishna more about that. But in the meantime, we are going to show you the trailer of Range of Emotion. Not the full doc, but, and obviously you can see it on some platforms on YouTube. More to come in September when Krishna actually gets the names of all of that. But hey, it's a beautiful documentary, so let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Krishna Mankasingh. I've been suffering with schizophrenia for over 20 years.
So looking back, obviously, some years have passed. When I first met Chris, I didn't know he had schizophrenia. I just saw a big guy working nights at the gym who was approachable, teaching me things. And then I think it was a couple weeks after I met him, he said, "Oh, by the way, I have schizophrenia. If I can deal with this, I can help you deal. I can teach you the tools you need to become a better self." And he really did. And it wasn't until later I told him, "Hey, by the way, I know about schizophrenia. My father had it or has it."
I've observed some very drastic changes in his life. I'm 26, so I was kind of able to see each portion of it through his adulthood. I'll bet some of it from a young age. But yeah, it's changed quite drastically. I've seen him both accomplish many things and also struggle very hard with certain problems.
I started out when I was very young, and I noticed that he was in very good shape. He was going into competitions, all of these different things. And then I can't really pinpoint where it was, but it just started to change. I don't know if it's around the time he went to the doctor and got diagnosed, or I know his weight gain started a lot when he had started taking medication. I recall him saying it acted as kind of like a tranquilizer or something for him, and that's pretty much why the weight gain happened.
And then when he got into his late 30s, he changed medications. And with regards to the change with medications, the person that I knew from 16 started coming back. The person that was outgoing, the person that was straightforward, the person who was loving. And that's just continued to this day. It's just gotten better, more out there. He's become more of the person he was, just more confident and wiser.
I wish I'd met him years earlier. I mean, the things I could have done, we could have helped each other. Him tell me the struggle, how it was for when, the medication, how he was basically stuck on a couch for 20 years of his life. Mr. Manitoba in 1998, to go from that to being stuck where he was, basically in a coffin of his own body for 2 decades and coming back to, competing again. Like, who does that? He did it. If he can do that, what can I do with my life? He helped me overcome so much. I don't think he understands that. Like, I'm sure he does, but he really, I don't know where I would be without this man.
Welcome back to Hue at Home. My guest is Krishna Mankasingh, and Krishna, the trailer is great, but the documentary is so riveting, and to actually know you now it makes it even more. So big part of the story is your bodybuilding, and it is a passion, and probably like you mentioned too, and talking about it, it's something that has set your mind on something. And but you had been doing this at a young age, so how has that kind of parlayed too into where you are today?
Okay, so actually, honestly, to be truthful with you, if I hadn't done it at a young age, I wouldn't have had the belief that I could do it at an older age. So those of you who are younger and thinking about doing something, if you can do it, you should do it, because you never know what will happen in your future. Something bad happens, or something, your life changes in some way. You may never be able to do that competition or play in that soccer league or whatever it is, right?
Interesting.
So that's something that I really encourage, especially younger people, to do. If they have the opportunity to do something, they should take the advantage and do it, because you never know, right? And for me, it really saved my life. Like, it literally saved it. Because as I was losing this weight, and the reason why I was able to lose the weight so efficiently was literally because I had the knowledge of bodybuilding and how to eat correctly for weight loss, and how to build my body, and how to do it in the most efficient way. So that really is a skill that I had from when I was younger. And then when I came back into it, I knew that I had good genetics already, so I already knew of certain things. I didn't know that I would be good at it again, to be honest, but I knew that I could be up there. I know I could do it. So it was something that gave me a goal. Having that goal made me go to the gym, and I realized I'm going to be in front of all these strangers in a very revealing outfit. So I think I should be in shape. I don't want to be up there and not look the part, you know. So it was a lot of practice, and it takes your mind off when you focus on something like that, where it is about yourself. It's self-discovery. Where's your limits? How hard can you work? You know, so there's a lot of good things that come from bodybuilding. And it's something that gives you something back. So after you do something like that, you can help other people achieve that as well, or understand what it takes to win. And you can use that in other aspects of life. So you develop a discipline and a good work ethic from doing these things.
So now, and I take it that you have done this all naturally, or do you take, like, I mean, and let's be honest here, right?
Yep.
Bodybuilding, it's, you know, the steroids, it's the illegal drugs, it's this, that, and everything else. And that could wreak havoc, right, with your condition.
So the honest truth is that the first 2 years was all natural. And I liked it actually better than what I'm doing currently. So it was more enjoyable to do it that way. But because I'm older, I had to work out 8 hours a day. And when you're older, you can't work out 8 hours a day. Your body can't recover. So it actually started damaging my lungs from doing, because my body started eating itself, right? And so my doctor actually mentioned to me, it's probably not healthy for you even to do this naturally. So I talked to him and I said, well, what if I took something to help me recover, like steroids? And so I started doing that, and I could take my workout down to 3 to 4 hours a day. Because the medication I take puts a lot of weight on. And so I've been a lot healthier, believe it or not, doing it that way. I don't think it's something that someone should do for a long period of time, competing in bodybuilding, because I don't think that that's probably healthy. And if you don't have the knowledge of how to combat some of the side effects with your diet and things like that, because there's certain things you need to eat in order to keep your arteries and all that stuff clean. So there's a lot to know about it. You shouldn't just dive into something with no knowledge, no training, or just listen to a coach or something like that. You should actually be prepared that there are going to be side effects and consequences.
Okay, so what should we be eating to have clean arteries?
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. So basically, when you're taking certain steroids, they destroy your good cholesterol. Right? So you just got bad cholesterol in there. Plus, your body's producing extra blood. So it's trying to pump more blood through arteries that are easier to get clogged. So number one, you got to make sure you're eating low fat, except you want good fats.
Right.
That's the one that's going to clean out your arteries, actually.
Okay.
So like fish oils, things like that. So if you can supplement with, like if you're eating a lot of fish, that's great. But if you're on these things, you probably need, 3 to 6,000 milligrams of fish oil.
Okay.
So it's like 6 tablets a day. Yeah, and you smell like a fish after. So, so if you don't want to smell like a fish, don't do them.
Yeah.
Don't do that stuff.
So, and you are going to be competing coming up.
Yeah.
in
I
the fall.
qualified. So I did a contest last November, and I got second. So I think when you place top 3, you qualify for the nationals. So I'm going to be doing Toronto Nationals on October 6th.
Wow.
So if you win, you get a pro card. I don't really have my hopes for that or anything. I just want to have the experience of it, and bring what my best to date
Yeah.
look will be. So hopefully I can do that.
Is your mind in a different headspace, obviously, than it was when you were 20?
Yes.
Competing?
When I was 20, it was all or nothing. Now this is just part of life. This is not the most important part of life. It's just part of life, right? I want a life that's worthwhile. That's not only bodybuilding, but bodybuilding is a big part of it because it helps my life have some kind of structure. But it's not the only thing. I like to use the bodybuilding to, like I said, for the documentary to help people. It helps me with my work because I'm a trainer, a personal trainer, the head trainer at 9 Round. I also do online training, those kind of things. So it helps me in other aspects of life too. So I'm trying to make money from doing what I enjoy doing and what I'm good at doing, and when I can truly help people achieve things that way. I like to be able to use that, that knowledge I have to help others.
Wow, well, you're certainly on the right track through all of this as you're sitting here and you're sharing again your story, but you gotta feel a little proud of where you now are, how far you've come. It really is a great story, and you happy?
Yeah, I'm happy. Actually, I'd have to say yes. And I am proud, but sometimes I forget what I've been through, to be honest with you. I remember now and again, because it feels like this has been where my life is. The other stuff almost feels like it's a memory, which is actually kind of good in some ways. But at the same time, I don't want to let not like I have this crazy success, but like the way I've turned it around, I don't want it to get to my head where I would feel, like, hey, I'm the only one who can do this. I think everybody, literally, if they give themselves a chance and they believe in themselves, can do whatever they want to do in life, as long as they focus on that. So I really hope other people will believe in themselves, rather than other things externally and things like that. Like, number one, believe in yourself. Know that you can trust yourself. Know that you can follow your own guidance sometimes, or somebody else's guidance if you need that to get to where you're going.
Well, so lastly, is there anybody that you want to thank, or people that you would like to thank?
There's a lot of people. So my boss, Tim, from 9 Round, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to make the documentary. He helped me understand how to remortgage the house and things like that, so that I could make the documentary. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to do that. He's not only the owner of 9 Rounds, he's a mortgage broker, I guess. So,
So you had a little bit of information.
yeah, he helped me out there. David Kinsella, I wouldn't have learned how to communicate correctly because my communication skills were just lost from not talking to anyone for 15 years. So there's that. Without him, I would not be able to communicate a documentary to anyone. I have so many friends, and they all know who they are. And I appreciate every single one of them. They've supported me in so many ways. I've given to them with what I can, and it's come right back to me. So there's been a few people instrumental in this, but these people are precious, and I really hope for others when they need help that there's people in their lives too that can do that.
Yeah, well, and we all need help, and we all need support, and definitely congratulations. I think you're well on your way to success. Fingers crossed that you win the nationals, and then hang your hat up, okay? No
Yeah.
more bodybuilding.
I think
I'm just
so.
saying that. No. But it's been such a pleasure and a joy. And it's, hey, a Winnipeg guy making it good. Thank you so much, Krishna.
You're welcome. Thank you as well for your time.
And thank you, all of you out there, for watching Hue at Home. And as always, stay safe and healthy. And we'll see you next time on Hue at Home.